How's it going out there, everyone? W.F.S. here. And today we're going to talk about the fourth season premiere, the first episode from the fourth season of Strange New Worlds, Valise Marines. And honestly, when I say that name, I honestly think like I'm about to order a pasta dish from the Olive Garden. It's an interesting title, but at the same time, the story itself, the first episode, if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it for the most part an A. In my opinion, it honestly did try to tell a decent story. It is the ending of the episode that really has me questioning some things because honestly, if you haven't seen this episode yet, you're in for a surprise because it's definitely something to talk about.
This is an unusual mission. We're to face a Category 10 interstellar squall.
All right, before we get into the episode itself and the problem that I have with the ending of this episode, and to me, it's not a bad ending, but it's just I have to ask questions about it and ask what the hell were they thinking when they decided to do this. But anyway, first problem I have is the one that I've had ever since they introduced this character. I can't stand Pelia. Can somebody please explain to me why this character is so popular? I don't get it. She's obnoxious and she's stupid at the same time. I just don't understand the attraction that so many have to this character. And in this episode, when Pike describes the mission that they're about to go on, she says, "Oh, I've seen it before, but from inside the phone booth." You know what they're implying right there. She was with Doctor Who. And I think it's a very bad judgment call to continuously throw this character in the Star Trek universe into the Doctor Who universe when you consider how badly Russell T Davies has destroyed the Doctor Who franchise. People are walking away from that, not walking, they're running away from it because of the embarrassment that they have done to it. They have just flat out destroyed it. And yet the writers at Star Trek seem to think it's perfectly fine to continuously interject this woman and the Doctor and the TARDIS into Star Trek. I don't get it. Okay, so let's start off first with the thing that's going to drive this plot, and that is the Category 10 interstellar squall. And the Enterprise is going to fly into it. They're going to receive a distress call from within it. And as they get closer to the squirrel, all of a sudden it starts expanding at an alarming rate. They try to escape it, and it surrounds them. And the effect that it does to the ship, it kills off the warp engine's fuel to ignite the engines. And pretty much, with the exception of minor impulse power and life support and a couple of other systems, it cripples the ship. So they launch a shuttle to one of the M-class planets. There are three of them apparently in this solar system they're in. And they launch a shuttle to the planet because it has detected the fuel that they need to reignite the warp engine and bring their systems back online. Can you guess, once they land on the planet, can you guess what they're going to encounter? Something that they've never been trained for. It's huge and it is going to change everything. But can you guess what they encounter?
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That's right. The planet they've landed on is infested with dinosaurs. Now, to be fair about it, it's not a bad episode. It's really decent. But I still think to this after watching this, I still think they could have upped the level of this episode a lot more by going with a Jurassic Park style story. Could you imagine Spock going, "Must go faster, must go faster"? So while number one, Lon and Erica are on the planet trying to find fuel for the Enterprise has been attacked by an alien vessel, got him in some kind of a tractor beam, and looks to salvage the vessel. They have no idea who the Federation is. They don't even know, they've never even heard of Starfleet. I don't know about all of you, but I got to know who the person is who writes Captain Pike's dialogue and all of this. It seems like every time there's a stressful situation or a combat situation, he seems to stress out pretty easily. In this particular case, the ship is helpless. They have no weapons. They have no way of stopping this alien race from taking their ship. They're being towed back to the aliens' home world. And Pike, out of desperation, tells them or says to them, "Why don't you come aboard our ship And everyone on the bridge looks at him like, "What did you say?" Perhaps this is just a logical, rational response when you're in a desperate situation and you are completely helpless. You're going to do whatever you can to find a way out of it. And that's what he's desperately trying to do here. But again, the reaction that the crew gives him when he makes the request for them to come aboard the ship is, "Oh my God, what did you just do?" All right, so the aliens come aboard the ship and they don't use transporters. They use a phasing technology to come aboard. Anyway, they want to come aboard to take a look at the weapons and decide which ones they want to take for themselves. The doctor and Pike suggest that they go to the medical bay for an examination because we don't know what pathogens you're bringing aboard and you don't know how susceptible we are to you. So they get to the sick bay and Pike and the rest of the crew start talking about how great the Federation is. They talk about how they've united, there's no violence in the Federation, and they're one big happy family. And the commander here just isn't buying it. She finds it so hard to believe. She's intrigued by it because she's never heard of it, and it sounds like a nice story. Our alien friends here, you're never going to guess where they're from, but they're from the planet Mars. And Mars has an atmosphere identical to Earth's. In fact, the alien race that they are in battle with is another or has a planet inside our solar system that's not in our charts or in the Federation's charts. The planet was destroyed a long time ago. In fact, that's where we are. We are 65 million years in the past. That storm that they went through them 65 million years back in time. All right, so before we continue on, I hope you're enjoying the video. And if you do, please click that like and subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. And I also enjoy comments. I love them. And whenever I can, I try to reply to them. Your participation is very important to me. I enjoy talking with all of you. But let's get back to this episode here. Now, the reason I'm reviewing it like I am is because I just want to give you the highlights of what's going on in this episode. And as I said before, I really don't think it's a bad one. But the purpose of it is to get to the end where the real issues are with this episode. I mean, it's a good ending, but damn, does it leave room open for a lot of questions. So our alien friends here are from Mars, and this crater that we're looking at is the title of the episode, Valaris Marinaris. And as I said before, that sounds like a pasta dish from the Olive Garden. But anyway, alien ship crash landed on that planet, and it consumed half, or rather the alien creatures, which are insect-like, consumed half of the planet. They started destroying all of the natural resources of that planet, turning that section of the planet red. So our alien friends here, in order to save their planet, they sacrificed 2 million of their citizens and destroyed the surface of that part of the planet. So when Pike is talking to her about how great the Federation is and how their technology and their ways of dealing with alien races can help them solve their problem, maybe communicate with these creatures, her response is, "They killed millions of my people. They've destroyed half my planet, and I don't want to talk to them. I want them gone." So after Pike leaves her, she decides to take her guards, go to the engine room, and steal the antimatter fuel cell. And as she's leaving, Pike tries to talk to her and understand why she's doing this. And she tells him that they just learned that all this stuff that he's talking about, how the Great Federation can help him, is a lie because it won't exist for 65 million years, and I need a solution now. So she takes the antimatter fuel cell and goes off to her ship. All right, so now that our alien friends have got the antimatter fuel cell, they've attached it to a warhead and have launched it at the Dorby alien homeworld, one of the planets in our solar system. Again, it's no longer on our charts, but it's on theirs, and they destroy the homeworld with Starfleet technology. Why does all this matter? Well, because Pike has the opportunity to shoot this thing down, but he realizes he can't do it. He has to watch as millions of alien insects die. And it bothers him big time. And when everyone questions him, "We should shoot it down. It's going to affect our future," his response is, If we stop it, it will affect our future because there is no fifth planet in our solar system during our time period. This planet has to be destroyed. But now we've reached the part of the episode that I want to talk about. I think is really relevant in this situation. It seems that in destroying that fifth planet, the aliens wound up breaking apart the whole planet into asteroids and comets. At the same time, it was also responsible for the large asteroid that crash landed on the Earth and killed off all the dinosaurs. That's right. The Enterprise, Captain Pike and his crew, are responsible for the evolution of humanity.
What?
All right, so think about that now. Everything that we have today, and now mind you, this is science fiction and this is the Star Trek universe we're talking about here, but everything we have today, moving all the way up into the Star Trek universe, is all because of the Enterprise? Are we trying to say that the evolution of our society had nothing to do with God? It just had to do with the Enterprise being thrown back in time 65 million years? And that's what started our progression in our societies?
Right here, life is about to form on this planet for the very first time. A group of amino acids are about to combine to form the first protein. The building blocks of what you call life. Strange, isn't it? Everything you know, your entire civilization, it all begins right here in this little pond of goo.
Now think about what Q just said. The building blocks of everything we knew came from this puddle of goo. But is that true anymore? Because again, the Enterprise, or rather their antimatter fuel cell, caused the destruction of a planet that sent a meteor to Earth that not only wiped out the dinosaur, but helped humanity evolve. Was it the building blocks of that puddle of goo, or was it the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs and put the world into a nuclear winter that helped the evolution of man? This is a very interesting question that needs to be asked, and I was just curious to know what you think about all that. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts and comments about all of this, so please drop those comments below and let me know. Until the next time, my friends, God bless.